Mothers here elegantly. Fortunately, he cannot be with you, so he asked me to represent him today. We all know the importance of energy for the growth and sustainability of every nation. I believe you all know that Ghana as a nation has even gone through phases when it comes to energy. In the past, we used to depend on only hydropower from Akosombo Dam, which was even in excess that we were exporting some. Then comes a time when it is not enough, we have to seek other sources of fuel or power to get electricity. So we see the evolution where we have a lot of thermal plants coming and using diesel fuel oil, etc. And then we also see a shift from these forms of energy to gas. So we are seeing a movement in the use of energy or the types of energy that we need as a country to different forms. And as we use this energy, what are the impacts that the effects of this are having on the environment? We all know and we are aware of the greenhouse effect, where we are having to do our best to ensure that we do not let these gases that affect the ozone layer get out of hand, for which reason globally governments have committed to working very hard to ensure that we protect our environment. We are happy that the energy minister, who is representing the government here today, has taken time to join us to signify the importance of this meeting today, to ensure that we all understand and are made aware of the work that the National Energy Transition Team has done over the past several months. And they are coming to make their studies and findings known to us today as Queen Mothers and as acting or as the leader of the National House of Chiefs. I will entreat all members to do their best to show or to add their knowledge, their views to whatever they are coming to share with us, so that we can contribute meaningfully to ensure that the policy that has been so designed for the benefit of this nation will be implemented flawlessly for the benefit of our nation, for the benefit of our continent, and for the benefit of the world in general. Let this meeting be very beneficial. Let us all be open, express ourselves, and ensure that at the end of the day, we have reason to believe that their visit to the National House of Chiefs has become very beneficial to all of us and has served the purpose. I thank you and so declare the workshop duly opened.
Very happy for this opportunity given us. For the past, if I'm not mistaken, about 5 years ago, we used to visit National House once in a year. But for the past 5 years, we've never been here. So we find it a privilege to be here today. So we say thank you to Ministry of Energy for bringing us here today. And we hope this is not going to be one day wonder. We will be expecting that at least every year, once a year, Queen Mothers in Ghana will be visiting National House of Chiefs. I hope you have this understanding. So we hope, Nana, you will take this and give it to your president. I will be expecting that every year, at least 2 from a region. We will be happy if we extend it to 3. But if 2, it will be okay for us. Then Queen Mothers here, as you said, are all Queen Mothers in Ghana, leading the various associations in the regions. So, whatever we are going to discuss here, we hope and believe we are going to take it bit by bit, send it to our regional associations, then disseminate it to our traditional areas. So, hope we'll take whatever we are going to do here serious. Queen Mothers here are all serious women. They are more than serious. So we hope to do that and disseminate whatever we are going to get here to our various members in the regions, as well as our traditional areas, and even to the grassroots, everybody, to know whatever we are going to take here. So we say thank you very much. And we believe whatever we ask here will be done to us. Thank you very much.
Economy and key to ensuring social cohesion. Our everyday mobility needs, production and distribution of goods services are all made possible through transport. However, depending on which technology is being used, there will be direct and indirect impact on our environment. At the moment, our development is underpinned largely by the use of fossil fuels from power generations to our everyday commute. Majority of Ghanaians depend on the use of small to medium-sized vehicles which are powered by either petrol or diesel engines. Statistics available to us from 2021 by GBL indicates that 72% of vehicles which were registered are powered by petrol and 27% by diesel engines, less than 1% by other sources of energy. The results of this high dependency on fossil fuels, coupled with a number of factors, including traffic congestion, has made the transport sector a net emitter of greenhouse gases. Ghana, the United Nations has made it clear that going beyond the 1.5 degrees Celsius will most certainly lead to a catastrophic disaster. This means that reducing carbon emission alone is not sufficient. We need to go a step further in order to halt the climate emergency. Achieving a net zero future requires coordinated approach touching on many aspects of our national economy. It also means that we need to reform the way we generate and use energy to power the various sectors of the economy. Globally, countries are responding to the call to net zero emission future. The United Kingdom, for instance, has set a target to achieve net zero emission by 2050. Europe is also working towards stopping the production of diesel cars by 2030. And Norway, which is heavily reliant on oil, has also set a target to stop sale of fossil fuel powered cars by 2025. These are big markets. We therefore need to realign our focus to guarantee transparent, efficient and sustainable development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a ministry in charge of transportation, we remain resolute and committed to the promotion of a sustainable and environmentally responsive transport system. It is perhaps one of the most urgent and critical measures that can guarantee a net zero emission future. In respect of the road transport services, our focus is mainly on technological shifts away from petrol and diesel fuels to a more sustainable and a more refined alternative. We are currently developing an e-mobility policy to guide the deployment and scale up of electric vehicles in the country. We are also working assiduously to introduce the first ever battery-powered electric buses, as well as gas-powered buses for public transportation. These interventions will serve as an important leverage that will set the tone for the gradual decarbonization of the road transport industry. In the railway sector, government's massive rail development agenda is on course with the view to link our major cities by rail. I am informed that feasibility studies for the introduction of metro light rail transit system have been completed for Kumasi and Accra. In the aviation sector, a number of infrastructure facelift programs are also being undertaken to improve connectivity. The maritime sector, the Ministry of Transport remains committed to attaining zero emission in deep sea shipping by the year 2030. Through Ghana Maritime Authority and the Ghana Shippers Authority, we are ensuring adherence and compliance to the International Maritime Organization's regulations on sulfur. The regulation sets strict sulfur emissions limits for vessels and is aimed at addressing one of the major environmental concerns of today, which is air pollution from maritime transportation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the opportunities for us to implement fundamental change to the way we transport goods and people. Collectively, we can gain a lot by pooling resources and harnessing experiences to propel the development agenda towards a result-oriented, climate-resilient, and sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I thank you all, and may God bless us.
Ghanaians in general, and today you in particular, what we mean by energy transition, the whole agenda about net zero, carbonization, fossil fuels, how it relates to our own daily lives, and our contribution to make the world a safer place for the next generation. For me, I decided to come to this particular one because without women, this agenda will fail. Without Nanano, this agenda will fail. The greatest contributor for these carbon fumes going into the atmosphere is through our cooking activities. Wood fuels, using wood fuels, charcoal, the effects on the health of women, the effect on the health of the next generation born by the women, the children in the kitchen. It was imperative that this happens with the National Association of Cremanders, because it's through your advocacy and your broadcast that we'll begin to be aware of some of the effects of the global warming agenda that we are here. I visited Tamale Secondary School. By chance, I was in the compound, so I was going to the Tamale Secondary School. And where my car was parked, entered, I couldn't stay for 5 seconds. But the worst thing was that I saw a lot of women and some were carrying children who lived in that environment as if nothing was happening. I couldn't, because I'm an asthmatic. Why wasn't I able to stay? I wasn't able to stay because of fumes. Most cooking in this country is done by wood fuel. And when you go to the mukasses and the ijaris, for those of us who love food, and we lived in Ahimfi like yours, there's always fumes. And it is causing so much problem to the human being first and to the environment second, that there's a need for the whole world to be awakened that the activities of daily living, cooking, driving, living in good houses, putting on air conditions, is affecting all of us. So when I hear that there's sea erosion in Kita, or there's sea erosion in any part of Ghana, I want you to understand that these are some of the effects of global warming. When those who live up north, upper east, upper west, the land all of a sudden is changing. you are seeing more grass than trees. It's a result of desertification, a result of global warming. Then those of us in the middle belt have now started realizing that the rainfall pattern is changing, so it's affecting farming. It is because of global warming. This has gone on through the whole world, such that in 2015, the world realized that the global temperatures were rising, and it was affecting the sea rise, and fishermen were going to sea without catching fish. It was affecting burning of large tracts of land, and it's affecting everything we do. So the world awoke to, let's do things that will lessen or will take away the effect of our own activities. That is what makes it difficult, because we cannot stop cooking. We cannot stop moving you from Oti region to Ashanti region to come to this meeting. We cannot. You have to drive in a car, or you have to fly by plane from somewhere. We cannot stop those activities. So how can we make sure that those activities minimize their contribution to global warming or eliminate global warming? That is why we are here. So when you hear energy transition, without energy there is no life. In fact, when God started creating the earth, He said, let there be sun, and there was sun. That is the beginning of energy, light, power, source. When you come to our home, if the women don't cook and we don't eat, we will die. So energy is so fundamental to activities of daily life. My brother here, he's in charge of all the OSA buses and the transport sector and everything. If you don't put energy as fuel in it, we can't move. And it's so dark and breezy, then you realize that there's a problem. We can't stop people from driving. We can't stop people from cooking. We can't stop people from moving from one place to the other. We can't stop people from living in decent houses. We can't stop people from putting air conditions in the room. And we all have to know that all those activities are contributing to global warming. So what can we do? And that's why we are here to take views. We are here to share our knowledge. And we are here to listen to grandmothers. And even more importantly, we are here such that the pre-mothers will go back and become advocates of awareness of the deleterious effects of some of the activities that we do. That is why we decided to meet here. I didn't know that, like my grandmother said, for 5 years you haven't come to your own house. The definition of a chief in the constitution in Ghana includes both men and women. So we wouldn't know, so forgive us. We wouldn't know. So please don't blame the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Energy. We thought this was your normal house, that this was the easiest way to find you. That's why we brought you here. But thank you for letting us know. Like I said, in 2015, the whole world gathered in Paris. And we decided that we have to limit the increasing in temperature that was causing global warming. So the first words we heard was global warming, global warming. Global warming was because the carbon dioxide that we were putting in the atmosphere through our activities of daily living was preventing the sun to do its own work well on the environment. And then it was blocking our ability to conduct ourselves in good temperature. And so the Earth's temperature started rising. This morning I was telling the chair that the rise in the temperature is making sure that the ice in the North Pole and the ice in the South Pole are all thawing. I saw here free frigid now they are too. Maybe a muscle. Got ice water now, no ice. The sea and ice. That is what is happening. So because those things are thawing, the sea is rising, the temperature is rising. So you have to understand, it's not that the people of Kita want their sea, their shore to be eroded. It is because of our collective activity. So we should be each our brother's what? Keeper. So there is nobody who is not affected by global warming. So we all have to together work together to decrease the impact or to eliminate those activities that are causing global warming. So that is why we are here. So in Paris, we decided that we will limit the temperature to less than 1.5 or 1.5 degrees. It is very small, but but it entails a lot of work and a lot of activity. Some of us have to change totally our way of life. And it is all caused by carbon dioxide going into the air. And the source of carbon dioxide going into the air is what we are trying to do. Cars putting fuel in the car. We using wood fuel, or somebody using coal, or we using fuel to fire our plants to produce us energy. Because everybody wants electricity. If you want electricity in this country, it means that we have to burn some of the fossil fuels to generate the electricity. So how can we change? Fortunately, knowledge and science have advanced such that there are things we can do to stop what we are doing, and there are things we can do to minimize the impact of what we are doing. So when I see Guadanano, everybody is dressed in a lovely traditional attire. The processes of manufacturing, the fibers and the threads to do your manufacturing is also causing impact on the global things. So everything we do. So when I say that Nanum are beautifully dressed, it has affected somehow the impact of climate. If everybody has food to eat, those activities have also contributed. But some countries have contributed more than some countries. The more advanced your country is, the more you have contributed. So the whole of Africa, with a population of 1.3 billion plus, we have contributed only about 3.8%. From 0 to 100, Africa contributes only 3.8%, and the rest of the world, the advanced world, contributes huge. But hey, as my uncle told me, everybody eats according to the size of the stomach. So for those who eat more, they should not decrease more. And those who are starting to learn how to eat, you also have to be careful. So don't learn how to eat plenty before you are told to decrease. That is the story of global warming and net zero. We want to get to zero. Africa, we are already 3.8. See, I can't we'll be free 97 over. But if we want 3.8, you perceive what could do 9 Tanzania and start here. But me and you should also live a good life. So we have to do the balancing. And so we cannot eliminate cars from the roads, but we can do electric vehicles. We cannot eliminate air conditioning from our roads and for our rooms, but we can do solar powered electric air conditioning. We cannot eliminate water heaters from our homes, but we can do solar water heaters. We cannot eliminate cooking from our kitchens, but we can do cook stoves, improved cook stoves. I wish they came to demonstrate and improve cook stoves here today. So that for the same amount of fuel, you can cook for longer. For the same amount of fuel, you can cook even better. If you move from wood fuel to gas, you even save the environment more. If we can move from gas to solar, then it means, with the way we hold here. So everybody is being called upon to contribute to mitigating the effects. And then when you know that you live in an environment that is becoming harsh, the sea is eroding, or the temperature, your land is burning, then you have to adapt and use a better method of staying alive. Because I don't want you to wake up in the morning and find yourself in the sea. But I don't want you to wake in the morning and find that your heart has been burned down by bushfire. We are even fortunate in this country, we don't hear much bushfire. Some years back, every year, there was a phenomenon of bushfire killing a lot of people. But just imagine, you rear cows or cattle. You have to move long distances to get the green grass because of global warming. Where else would it have? Why would it have happened? It would have happened because since the temperatures is increasing, the hard land, the grassland is becoming desert, the forest land is becoming grassland, and we are moving in a very, very bad direction. It has always been said, when the last tree dies, the last man dies. And that is the sum of what we need. To plant more trees that the ministries are doing. Change our behavior. Change our behavior and still live better. And so if you have a house that you are building, we encourage you to do more solar panels to save electricity. So that is why we are here in a nutshell, to hear this agenda from others, how it is impacting on yourselves, your contribution, and how we can all together share ideas to make our lives more better. Because on an annum here, you don't speak for yourselves, you speak for the generation yet unborn, and that is why we are here to listen to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.